Hi everyone, and welcome back to my AstroCartoGraphy series on the planetary line, where I go through all the planetary lines based on your rising sign. So let's get right into it. Today we are going to cover Pluto. So let's start with what Pluto is. But first of all, let me just put this out there. Pluto is not a bad line. Is it intense? Yes. But what is Pluto? Pluto is transformation. Transformation can also be for the best. I mean, most of the time it is for the best. What is Pluto? Pluto is destruction of what needs to be let go. It's not easy. So yes, be cautious, but it's not bad line, okay? It is intense. It is shadow work. It is control. It is obsession. It is death and rebirth, psychological depth, truth, endings, and the parts of you that are ready to be completely regenerated. Pluto lines can feel magnetic, confronting, empowering, intense, emotional, obsessive, or deeply transformative. This is not usually the line where life stays light or superficial. Pluto tends to bring things to the surface. So if you're not up for that, don't go to a Pluto lines. The patterns that you have avoided, the power dynamics you have tolerated, the fears you have buried, the desires you have suppressed, the parts of you have disowned. And this is why Pluto can feel scary, because Pluto does not usually transform you by giving you more decoration. Pluto transforms you by showing you what is no longer sustainable. But just keep in mind that Pluto is not destroying you. Is it distraction? Yes, but it's not you. Pluto is here to return you to your power. Before I get into the 12th rising sign, I do want to mention something regarding Pluto. I guess I have this perspective as I am Plutonian. I'm a Scorpio rising, Scorpio stellium, born on a Pluto line, not living on my Pluto line right now. What I want to say is that some people, of course, this is going to depend on your chart, but some people do find these outer planets, Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, easier for them. They can handle this energy because they have this on an angular line in their chart, or it's the dominant planet in their chart. So just keep that in mind and look at your own chart. It doesn't have to be on an angular, maybe it's dominant. And some people tend to do better with those planets if they have this planet dominant in their chart. So going back to Pluto lines, the real question is not, is a Pluto line good or bad? The real question you should be asking yourself is, what area of life is Pluto transforming for me? Which is exactly what I will be going over in this video based on your rising sign. An even more important question to ask once you know what area of life Pluto will be transforming for you, I want you to ask yourself this: do I have the capacity for that level of depth, truth, intensity, and rebirth in this season of my life? If you don't fucking go there. Okay, so let's get right into it. Aries rising. For you, Aries rising, your Pluto line will most likely activate intimacy, shared resources, depth, taxes, inheritance, psychological transformation, sexuality, trust, vulnerability, power dynamics, and emotional rebirth. This is one of the most intense Pluto lines based on the rising sign, meaning Aries rising will probably have the most intense Pluto line because it's transforming exactly what Pluto is all about. Okay, this is going to be intense. It is activating the house that already deals with deep transformation. This is a place where you may confront your relationship with control, emotional dependency, trust, fear, power, and surrender. You may experience intimacy, deep healing, financial entanglement, or situations that require you to face what you usually try to avoid. This can be a place for therapy, shadow work, trauma healing, financial transformation, occult studies, psychology, or deep emotional release. But this is not a line where you want to ignore red flags. Power dynamics in relationships, money, sex, or business partnership can become very obvious here. The way to work with this line is to become radically honest about what you are attached to. Do the therapy, clean up debt, clarify the contracts, stop merging with people who make you feel powerless. The productive use of this line for you, Aries rising, is reclaiming your power from the places you have been emotionally, sexually, or financially entangled. Taurus rising. For you, Taurus, your Pluto line will most likely activate relationships, marriage, client contracts, business partnership, and one-to-one dynamics. This is a very transformative line in the area of relationships. This can be romantic, business, clients. This is a place where relationships can become very intense, magnetic, transformative. This is probably a line where you're going to have the most transformative relationships. This can be a place where if part of your work is relationships, like let's say maybe you're a relationship or marriage counselor therapist, this can be a place where you gain a lot of the knowledge, the most power when it comes to your niche, to your work, because that's where you're learning the most about relationships. You may attract powerful people, emotionally intense partners, obsessive connections, for sure, or clients who deeply transform the way you see yourself. Relationships here may not feel casual, most likely will not feel casual. People can become mirrors for your shadows, your power, your fears, and your desire for control or surrender. This can be a powerful place for deep partnership, transformational client work, or attracting people who awaken something profound within you. But it can also bring power struggles, manipulation, jealousy, obsession, or relationships that feel hard to leave. The way to work with this line is to be very clear about boundaries and relationship dynamics. Do not confuse intensity with intimacy. Do not confuse chemistry with safety. Do not give someone access to your life just because the connection feels fated. The productive use of this line for you, Taurus rising, is learning how to be transformed through relationships without losing yourself inside of them. Gemini rising. For you, your Pluto line will most likely activate health routines, service habits, discipline, daily responsibility, and your body. This can be a powerful place for transforming your lifestyle. This can be a place where you become more disciplined, more focused, serious about your work, health routines, and the way you manage your energy. This can be a good line for you if you want to really take control and have power over your daily lives, your routine, and your health. Could there come a crisis first for that to happen? Yes, possibly. But this can be a place that, yes, like I said, gain power over your body, your health, and your routines if that is your intentions. Again, I always say this in all videos. The best line is the line that activates the area of life that you are currently wanting to prioritize and work on. So if health routines is a focus of yours and want to make a change, then this can be a great line. This can support deep healing, body transformation, research, intense work ethic, or becoming highly skilled at your craft. You may feel called to change your habits completely, but Pluto here can also expose where your daily life is unhealthy, unsustainable, or built around control. Workplace power dynamics may become more obvious. You may attract intense colleagues, demanding clients, or environments where you feel like you have to constantly prove yourself. Your body may also communicate loudly if you have been suppressing stress or living in survival mode. The way to work with this line is to create clean, sustainable systems. Detox your routines. Protect your body. Stop letting work consume your entire identity. Do not use productivity as a way to avoid your emotions. The productive use of this line for you is transforming your health, work, daily discipline without turning your life into a pressure chamber. Cancer rising. Your Pluto line will most likely activate creativity, romance, pleasure, children, self-expression, confidence, and visibility through your talents. This can be a deeply creative and passionate line for you. You may feel stronger desire to express yourself, create something powerful, be seen, fall in love, or reclaim parts of your inner child. Creative work may become more intense, honest, raw, or magnetic. Romance may also become more consuming. You may attract relationships that awaken desire, obsession, jealousy, or deep emotional transformation. Love can be one of the most transformative things that you experience on this line. This can also be powerful if you have a business or if you go there with a business. This can make your business powerful, but there's definitely a transformation first. Okay, things might get destroyed first, usually with Pluto, things that need to be destroyed for something better to come for it, because this for you activates the creativity. This can be a powerful line for artists, performers, creators, and anyone who wants to create work that carries depth and emotional impact. But Pluto here can also bring fear around being seen. You may confront shame, creative blocks, comparison, or old wounds around visibility, joy, romance, or self-expression. Remember what I said early on at the start of this video is that Pluto is power. And some people haven't really discovered how powerful they are. Or they're not aware. What I want to say is that they're not ready to reclaim their power. And so this can be an intense line, because that's basically the point of Pluto. It's bringing destruction and intensity because it's helping you to reclaim your power. That's the thing that people forget about Pluto. Why it's hard a lot of times is being born on a Pluto line, right? This can be, if you're not aware of your power, this can be someone else taking your power. But if you're in a place where, okay, this is what my power is, and you're able to handle that, then Pluto can be a powerful place for you. Anyways, the way to work with this line is to create from the truth, not from the need of approval. Make the art you're afraid to make. Let your desire tell the truth. Heal the part of you that learned joy was unsafe. The productive use of this line is transforming pain into creative power. Leo rising. For you, your Pluto line will most likely activate home, roots, ancestry, emotional foundation, property, and your private life. This is going to be an intense line for you. I mean, this is bringing transformation to these areas of life that are naturally ruled by the moon. This area of life should be emotionally safe, but we're bringing Pluto here, and so this can be deeply emotional and ancestral, transformative line for you. You may feel pulled into family patterns, emotional childhood memories, ancestral healing, or the need to completely transform your relationship with home and belonging. This can be a place where you uncover truth about your family, your emotional conditioning, or the foundation your life has been built on. You may also feel called to relocate, renovate, buy property, cut ties with old family members and dynamics, or create a private life that feels more powerful and honest. But this line can feel heavy if family dynamics are already way too complicated. Control issues, emotional manipulation, power struggles at home, or old wounds can definitely surface here. The way to work with this line is to stop building your life on foundations that were never safe for you. Create a home that protects your nervous system, set family boundaries, take your power back, do ancestral work, go to therapy, cleanse the physical space and the emotional space, and know that the productive use of this line is rebuilding your roots so your future is no longer controlled by your past. Okay, Virgo rising. Your Pluto line will most likely activate communication, writing, learning, sibling, your local environment, mindset, voice, and daily conversations. This can make your words powerful. You may become more persuasive, investigative, psychologically aware, and able to communicate with depth. This can be an excellent line for you when it comes to writing, research, therapy, coaching, teaching, astrology, investigation, psychology, or any work that requires you to speak about what others avoid. You may become sharper and more intense here, but Pluto in the third, activating the third house, can also create obsessive thinking, intense conversations, mental pressure, or power struggles through communication. You may find yourself replaying conversations, reading between the lines, or becoming hyper aware of what is not being said. Sibling dynamics or local relationships may also become more charged. The way to work with this line is to use your mind as a tool and not a prison. Write, research, study, speak the truth, but do not obsess over every message, every silence, every tone, every hidden meaning. The productive use of this line for you is transforming your voice into something powerful, precise, and psychologically honest. Libra rising. For you, your Pluto will most likely activate money, self-worth, values, possessions, talents, income, and material security. This can be a powerful wealth transformation line. You may become more aware of your relationship with money, control, survival, scarcity, desire, and self-worth. This may be a place where you are forced to look at how much power you give to money, how you price yourself, what you tolerate for financial security, and whether your values are truly your own. This line can support building wealth, developing powerful talents, transforming your income, or creating a more empowered relationship with receiving. But Pluto line can also bring financial intensity. You may experience extremes around earning, spending, saving, debt, or fear of not having enough. You may also confront where your self-worth has been tied to beauty, approval, or being chosen. The way to work with this line is to take your financial power seriously. Track your money, clean up financial leaks, raise your standards. Stop selling yourself for comfort. Stop letting fear make your decisions, and realize that the productive use of this line for you is transforming your self-worth so your money becomes a reflection of your power and not fear. Scorpio rising, Pluto line will most likely activate your identity, your body, confidence, appearance, personal presence, and the way you move through the world. Pluto rules you, and so this can be one of the most personal and intense Pluto lines experiences for you. Yet at the same time, it can also, out of all the signs, you'll probably be the one who can handle this the best because this is your ruler. This may be a place where you go through complete identity rebirth. You may become more magnetic, powerful, private, intense, and self-aware. Other people may project into you more strongly or feel your presence even when you are not trying. You may shed an old version of yourself here. Your body, your image, your identity, and relationships with your own power may transform deeply, but this line can also feel exposing. You may attract power struggles, jealousy, obsession, or situations that force you to confront how you use your own intensity. The way to work with this line is to stop hiding your power and stop using your own power defensively. Move your body, do shadow work, protect your energy, let old identities die without trying to control how everyone perceives you. The productive use of this line is becoming the version of yourself that no longer needs to shrink perform, or survive through control. Sagittarius rising. For you, your Pluto line will most likely activate the themes of solitude, spirituality, the subconscious pattern, hidden fears, endings, dreams, isolation, healing, and the unseen world. This can be a very intense line for you. This can be deeply spiritual and psychological line because it's making you withdraw, retreat. It's activating things that you've buried, things that you have forgot about, things that your mind has suppressed. It can be powerful for healing, research, spiritual initiation, private creative work, or ending a major karmic cycle. But it can also feel isolating or emotionally intense if you are not consciously working with it. You may feel like you're going through a transformation that other people cannot fully see or understand. The way to work with this line is to make the unconscious conscious. Do the therapy, track your dreams, meditate, write privately, rest deeply. Do not isolate as punishment. Do not disappear into fantasy, secrecy, or avoidance. Watch out for drugs. And note that the productive use of this line is freeing yourself from the invisible pattern that has been running your life behind the scenes. Capricorn rising. For you, your Pluto lines will most likely activate the themes of friendships, community, networks, audience, social media, if that's what you do, collaborations, and long-term dreams and future vision. This can be a powerful line for transforming your social world and your tribe. You may attract influential people, intense friendships, powerful communities, or networks that change the direction of your future. This can be a strong place for building an audience, joining transformational communities, or becoming part of movements that carry depth and impact. Your long-term goals may also change drastically here. You may realize that the dream you are chasing no longer hold power, or that you are ready for a much bigger vision. Pluto here can also bring power dynamics in friendships, in groups. Friends may become intense, communities may feel controlling. You may deal with jealousy, comparison, social pressure, or the fear of being judged by the group. The way to work with this line is to choose your people carefully. Do not join communities that require you to abandon your truth. Do not give your power away to the audience. Do not let social validation control your future. The productive use of this line is building a powerful vision with people who respect your evolution, not people who need you to stay the same. Aquarius rising. Your Pluto line will most likely activate your career, reputation, public image, leadership, authority, visibility, status, and legacy. This is a major career transformation line for you. You may be pushed into more power, visibility, leadership, or public responsibility. Your professional identity may go through a complete rebirth. You may leave an old career path, step into a more influential role, or become known for work that deals with transformation, truth, psychology, healing, power, money, or taboo subjects. This can be a transformational line for building authority and legacy, but it can also bring public pressure. Power struggles with bosses, authority figures, clients, institution, or public perception may arise. You may feel like your reputation is being tested or that you are being asked to own your ambition more fully. The way to work with this line is to lead without trying to control everything. Clarify your mission, build ethical power, do not manipulate your image, do not give your authority away to people who are intimidated by your growth, and realize that the productive use of this line is becoming more powerful in public without letting power corrupt your integrity. And lastly, Pisces rising. Pluto line will most likely activate travel, higher education, spirituality, publishing, teaching, beliefs, foreign culture, and your world view. This can be a powerful line for spiritual and philosophical transformation. You may have experiences that completely change what you believe, how you see the world, and what you are here to teach. Travel can be intense, can feel fated or transformative. You may become deeply drawn to psychology, astrology, spirituality, occult studies, philosophy, or higher education. This line can support teaching, publishing, research, and sharing wisdom from lived transformation rather than surface level inspiration. But remember, Pluto here can also bring intensity around your own beliefs. You may become obsessive about a philosophy, a teacher, a spiritual path, or foreign place. You may also confront dogma, control through belief systems, or the desire to be completely certain about life. The way to work with this line is to let your beliefs transform without turning them into a cage. So, study deeply, travel consciously, question what you have been taught, teach from experience, not superiority. And remember, for you, the productive use of this line is to allow your worldview to be reborn so your wisdom becomes more honest, powerful, and embodied. Again, this is only a peek of how the line is going to play out for you, you guys. This might give you a deeper, hopefully will give you a deeper interpretation of how the line will play out for you. But please don't come at me on the comment section, because remember, there's other factors that also play a role. Astrocartography is a lot more than just planetary lines. We got to look at the aspects, your relocation chart, your goal, and the timing of your life. Okay, so that's it for me regarding Pluto line. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video.